Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Mindset Podcast. And today we're going to be diving into neuroscience and creative thinking. Because it seems like a lot of people think that if they're conventional thinkers, then they're not good at being creative and let alone have a creative thinking process in place and actually tap into novel ideas and thoughts. And this article at neurosciencenews.com is actually rebutting this idea, this conventional thought that a lot of people are boxed in. So let's discuss it further. And the title of this is called "How to Unlock Your Creativity Even If You See Yourself as a Conventional Thinker." I find this title extremely attractive and also intriguing, isn't it? This was written on January 12, 2023, very recent, and they had this bold title called "Do you think that creativity is an innate gift?" And they're telling us, they're begging us to think again. And I do agree with the notion that we have to really, kind of decouple the idea that if you are a conventional thinker, if you tend to be analytical, if you tend to be rational, then there's no way in hell that you're going to be creative. Creative thinking is a process. And if you were part of my classes before, I really argued that creative thinking is a blend of the rational mind and the creative mind in a divergent convergent thinking process, which produces a beautiful blend called abductive reasoning. Google it, or better, just go to my website and read more about it. So, researchers, so neuroscientists, are looking at creativity in terms of how can it come out, sprout, using frustrating situations. So I think that they found a hack here that I would like to also also want to shed a light upon is that if you believe, okay, if you have that belief, self belief that you're a conventional thinker and there's no way you'll be a creative thinker, and perhaps you really want to venture into your own startup or company, or you really want to enter a more creative role, which by the way, PS is very important given the rise of AI and the automation epidemic that's gonna happen in few years, very recently. So to be a creative thinker is necessary now to make sure that you are recession proof, future proof, work proof. So the thing is, they said that the hack is in frustrating situations, which means that you really need to be put in frustrating situations, conditions in your work or some form of environment, and you need to watch how you react to the frustrating situation. So there are people who are either imploders or they're exploders. So if it's exploding, that means that anger comes out, there's a lot of rage coming out, and that is more of an outward situation. And the imploder is basically you churn inside and internalize it. So here it's really interesting how you can actually do this is that you have to observe how you react to frustrating situations, because that's where creativity is going to be able to be kind of triggering, re-triggered by emotional reappraisal. So it's all about how you're going to use that energy to solve the problem as quote unquote creatively as possible so that you can resolve the problem. Okay, so if you believe that you're an exploder, so whenever there's something that feels really frustrating in your work and then you just lash it out, I suggest, well, even the neuroscientists suggest that you stop for a moment, just look at it, and use that to actually transmute a more of a creative solution to resolve the problem without, going out there and just being mad at it for not working the way, the rational, the conventional, the logical way, the analytical way. All right, so that's where the magic happens, is that you accept the situation, even if it's outside of your control. You accept the frustrating situation and you try to transmute that rage or emotion towards a more of okay, let's figure this out. Let's find a way. It's not my way or the highway. Let's find a way to resolve this as creatively as possible, or as fill in the blank kind of stuff. I find this really interesting. Like they started to look at how anxiety, creativity, rage, and all the emotional responses are interconnected. And if you really think about it, if you were really anxious or having deep anxiety, you're anxious for what exactly? If you're, for example, anxious to present, think about it. Why are you anxious? Like, what is exactly the reason for your anxiety? Is it because of fear of stage fear? Is it the people? Are you intimidated by someone out there? Something is in there. So just grab that anxiety and transmute it, transform it into finding way to resolve that emotional response. Okay? That's where the magic will happen, and you will start thinking outside of your normal pathways, your normal neural pathways. You start to think outside of it because you really want to resolve it, but not in giving in to the emotional response, which is anxiety or rage. Isn't that magical? Isn't that amazing? And by that, you are training your creative muscles. Wow, that's really mind blowing. Let me know how you find this episode, and if you have any question, feel free to send me an email or go to my website and go to the contact me and write your question. I would love to dig in further. Have a good one and happy learning.